Здесь больше, хочешь больше?
Hello, Mikhail.
Hello, Thomas. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
The same. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the news. Hello, Mary.
Hello.
So we're talking about the news.
It's good, I think.
Do you watch the news, Mary?
No, I don't pay attention to news because today we have very sad news, so I prefer stay away from it because it's make me really sad.
Yes. Well, do you read newspapers?
No, sometimes I read article in the internet, but I don't buy newspaper. I think because we have internet, so now we have something
Yes.
modern.
Do you think that newspapers will go away one of these days?
Yes, I think yes.
Be
I
replaced
think
by...
maybe some people buy it who I don't know, like my father, who don't like read news in internet. But no, not my father, my grandfather. And maybe some people who really likes, who prefer newspaper.
Yes. My father as well, he reads the newspaper. Hello, Alexander, how are you?
Alexander?
Alexander.
Alexander.
Can you hear us, Alexander? And we have Ludmilla. How are you, Ludmilla? Ludmilla, can you hear us? Hello?
So,
Ludmilla, can you hear us?
She can has problem with internet. She can.
There you are. Can you hear us? Alexander, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we're talking about the news. Do you read the newspaper?
No, I don't read newspapers.
Do you know anybody that does?
Sorry?
Do you know anybody that does read the newspaper?
Yes, my father does.
He does?
Yeah.
What newspaper does he read?
I don't know. About news.
Do you have a city newspaper in your city?
News, city news,
City newspaper?
city news, country news.
What is the name of the paper? Do you know?
Usually its name in English it will be True.
True?
Yeah.
Okay. Mary,
I
do you have
think
a
it doesn't
do you have a-
translate it.
do you have a newspaper in your city? A city newspaper, not like a national paper, but a city
Oh.
paper.
Really, I don't know. I know about my home city, and in my home city, yes, we have two newspaper because it's really small city. So that's why only two. And when I was young, I always read it. And when I was
Read it.
small,
Has
and
to
my
read.
grandpa always wrote something in newspaper, and I can read poem by my poem is poem written by my grandpa.
Okay. Did they have comics? Did you read the comics?
No, I never read. Never read.
That was always my favorite part when I was a kid, was the comics.
I don't have because it was really small newspaper.
Oh. Alexander, did you read the comics when you were a child?
Sorry,
Did you read the comics when you was a child? You know comics?
I don't remember what I read when I was a child. Maybe some child magazines with funny pictures, funny
You cut the
pictures.
pictures out, yeah? What kind of pictures do you remember?
About some heroes, maybe from cartoons, fairy tales.
Yes. Okay, about the news, Mary, do you think that it's important that people report the news? Is this important, or do you think this is not important?
News?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's important because I think we should know about what happens around, and if it's really dangerous, we are close to you, you should know about it and do something, because news can save your life. But if it's news true, I think it's also important.
Okay. Alexander, what do you think? You think news is important, or do you think this is not important?
The news?
Yes.
I think yes, it's important, but sometimes it's not interesting.
Well, what kind of things would you think would be important?
What's happened in our country, in our city, maybe what else about usually for me it's important to know weather, news about weather, maybe forecast about weather.
Yes, I agree. What sort of sources can you get the news, Mary? What different sources can you get news from? You said newspapers and internet. Where else can you get news?
And TV, I think people can get news for TV, newspapers, internet.
What about radio? People listen to the radio?
Radio, yes, also. I forgot.
Do you listen to the radio?
No, I don't have any this subject in my house.
You don't have a radio?
No, I don't have. For me, it's. I prefer when I choose my music and when I choose what I want to know.
Okay.
So radio is not for me.
Okay. Alexander, do you have a radio?
I have a radio in car.
In your car.
Yeah.
You listen to it?
Yes, I listen to it when I drive.
You drive. What does it? Is it music only, or music and news and whatnot?
It can be music and news, and I often listen to English radio. Maybe you know the channel is My Talk.
My Talk?
Yeah,
No, I don't know that channel. Is that an AM or FM channel?
it's yes, it's a American USA channel.
Is it? I don't doubt that. So do you
So,
Alexander? Do you?
Thomas, wait a second. And what about Ludmila? Ludmila,
There?
on radio.
Can you hear us, Ludmila?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Glad to have you with us. We are talking about the news.
I have understood while I was listening to you.
Okay, what is your opinion of the news?
Oh, I don't listen to news and I don't watch news.
You don't watch
That's
television?
why I don't
news?
have any altitude to news.
So you think this is not important?
I have lived 21 years without news, and I think I can live longer without them. So.
Okay. Do you think that newspapers are going to go away one of these days, Ludmila? Disappear? Like typewriters?
I think that it can be because, as for me, I also don't read newspapers, and really, if they write truth, maybe someone reads them, yes. But they write something strange and not even close to life, and newspapers don't reflect the real life, and that's why I think that no one writes them. But I speak only about myself and about my friends and my family. So.
I understand. That's a good question. Do you think that they kind of change the truth when they write articles, whether it be internet or I mean,
we live in the world of illusion, really, because there is no truth which is possible to get easy. So when it is in newspaper and it's easy to get this information, it means that this information is false.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ludmila. Do you think it's the same way in every country in the world? All countries are like that, or just certain countries?
I don't know. I can tell only about my country, so, and maybe about Russia also, but I will not be sure about it. But in general, I can tell only about my country and about Russia. And in general, it's maybe a kind of philosophical rule, you know, that it's possible when you. But really, there are different points of view. Someone tells it's the simplest thing is the truth. Someone tells that the most difficult thing is the truth. So it's for you to decide. So I even can't judge about it.
Okay, Mary, what do you think about that question? Do you think that not just here, but newspapers or reporters around the world, do you think they tell the truth, or do you think they tell things that aren't necessarily true?
I think they distribute information in profitable way for this channel and this newspaper, because we have a different owner of channel, and we have different political structure in our country, in your country, so and we have different point of view. So
what about like America or France or Germany or countries like that? Do you think they do the same thing there?
I think it's more true information, but it depends on situation sometimes. But I hope, because sometimes when I really need true, I read in American search, yes?
Yes.
Or England.
Alexander, what do you think about that? Do you think that that world newspapers or world reporters are more truthful than local reporters?
If they true, sorry.
You think that reporters from around the world, do you think they pretty much tell the truth? Do you think they do not? Do you think they tell us things that are not quite true?
I didn't get the question, sorry.
Okay, not just in your country, but in all countries, like France or Germany or America. Do you think they report the truth, or do you think they report distorted truth?
I think they report the same as in other countries. There are some truths and more lie, maybe.
Okay, Ludmila, do you think that radio stations, television stations should just tell the report and not give their opinion? You know what I'm saying? What they think.
Oh, I didn't understand the question clearly. So about TV and news, they should tell the truth or their opinion?
Well, do you think they should just tell the story, or do you think they should tell their opinion as well? You know, sometimes they tell you what they think and not what necessarily is just what happened, but what they think what happened. You understand?
Oh, I think it will be enough just to tell some facts about some events, and that's all, without any opinions and without anything, because I think that people should judge by themselves, and that's all.
So you think they should not give their opinion, in other words, right?
Yeah, they can judge without anyone's help, really.
Okay, Mary, what do you think about that?
You know, when I learn passive voice, I have example how American president tell about some situation. They can say, I did something, or this was done. So you can build your speech in this way that you can don't say opinion your attitude for some stuff, but only, I don't know, get this information in this way that will be understanding, like this side doesn't fault or something like that. So people can, I don't know, only build sentence in this way.
So, in other words, do you think that the way they just deliver the information is just kind of, it assumes what the answer is?
I think in the most of times it's the truth only when they talk about some accidents or maybe, you know, some kind of situation, yeah, which happened, and they show today our president signed something, yeah, it's a true. But when they start to maybe talk about different sides or write about it, it's a kind of showing their opinion, yeah, and of course you know, maybe the government or some shareholders have the own interest, yeah, and try to show what they want, yeah, and maybe take a profit of them. So it's hard to imagine truth, because, you know, if you talk about the interview, yeah, of course it's hard to check when the person tells your truth. Yeah, so for me it's like not usual thing. Yeah.
Okay, Alexander, what do you think about that? Do you think that they should just tell what happens, the events, or do you think they should tell their opinions?
Sorry, could you repeat more slowly, please?
Yes. Do you think when they report the news, do you think they should just tell the facts, or do you think they should also include their opinions?
Opinions and the both, I think. Both of them.
Both? Why?
facts and opinion. I don't know why they do it.
Well, why do you think it's important? If you said you think they should, or some people think they should just share the facts and let you make your own opinions.
Oh, you ask me about my opinion, yeah?
Yes.
Um, I think it's not important to hear their opinion because their opinion usually influence our brain of our people, but and they can manage our mind maybe. So I think we need just facts. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Ludmila, do you think that in your short life that that news has been delivered in a different way than it used to be?
I think that yes, because news should tell the truth. That's why it can be vice versa than now.
So do you
Because
think
now it's something strange, disconnected with reality, and it's impossible to listen to.
Do you think years
So I
ago
think we should.
it was different?
What?
Do you think years ago it was different?
No, I think that years ago everything was the same, and maybe I can't judge, but it seems to me that even 10 years ago everything was the same. But it's only my opinion. But I can't remember myself 10 years ago. But I think that in our country nothing changes. So a bit pessimistic, of course, point of view, but
You try to be honest with yourself, right?
try to be realistic, really.
Yes. Mary, what do you think about that? Do you think news is different now than it was 10 or 20, 30 years ago?
Really, I don't know, because when I was child, of course, I don't see news, because for children it's absolutely don't interest. And
Boring, right?
yes, it's boring. And when I was child, I think how my father can saw it. It's so boring, and I always ask him, turn on channel, please, because it's boring. Maybe something cartoon, but maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I very often watched news, but now I don't watch news, so I don't know really what changes now. But I think it's the same situation, because the same people, the same mass media product, so I think nothing changes.
Alexander, what do you think? Do you think that 20 or 30 years ago that newscasters told a different story? Told more truth than just all this different opinions and whatnot?
You ask me?
Yes.
Sorry, repeat, please.
Sure. Do
Slowly.
you think that 20 or 30 or more years ago, before you were born, do you think that there was more truthfulness in reporting news generations ago?
I don't know, but as I think 20 years ago it was the same as now, but 30 years ago maybe it was different, and it sounds different, and it was more optimistic news. But I don't know about truth. I can't say.
Okay, Ludmila, do you think that reporting sports is also skewed? Or do you think that's just the truth about sports?
It will be very funny, but I'm not interested in sport, so it's also difficult to judge.
Okay, so you don't keep up with any sporting activities, football or hockey or anything like this?
Is laying on the sofa count as a sport activity?
Okay, that sounds like interesting sport activity. So, Mary, what do you think? Do you think that they also skew the results in sports, or do you think they tell the truth when they tell you what happens in the Olympics?
I think they tell truth about sport, but I don't watch it only if it's really important happens, like Olympic Games, like UEFA. But generally, I don't like sports, and never in internet, I never read it.
I prefer to see some funny stories like yesterday we have a shark attack on the surfing gist. Yeah. So
Really
do you
funny
see
story.
this video?
Where was it?
You know, in the internet you can find surfing and share attack. And
Shark attack on a surfer?
yeah. And
Where
the,
at? You know?
Water and some strange things and people sliding on the water.
sorry.
I'm not very good at sports, but as for me, surfing is connected with water. Yes, with ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice, I think.
Yeah. But
I think it's funny.
this person was like attacked by
Shark.
Yeah.
Shark. Yeah.
Oh, it's sad.
Yes.
But everything is okay. But you know, it's interesting to see how it happened. I just talk about the internet in the sport. Yeah. So.
Yes. But it's pretty bad because people can get hurt very bad like that. Okay, do you so we get most of our news or information from the internet these days, right? So, Mary, what sites do you go to get your news or to read about what you want to read about?
Sites?
Yeah, websites.
Liga News.
Legal news?
Liga News, it's called, and Minfin.
Infin? Okay.
And another, it's usually friends send me some article and I read it, because a lot of friends send me article every day, and I read. So I read but if I want something read, I usually use Liga. It's only news. And about finance, it's Minfin, economic.
Economic news.
Yes.
Okay, Ludmila, what websites do you get your information from?
Oh, I use only social networks and I read news after these news are converted into jokes, and then from jokes from this news I understand what really happens in life. But I think it's funnier than to write the website of Minfin.
So you think that?
But I can be mistaken, right?
So what? Facebook, VK, stuff like that?
Contact, actually.
Contact, yes.
Funny, yes.
Yes.
There are a lot of groups who jokes about politics, about economics, and about different events happened. And I can give an example. For instance, I didn't know that in the United States there were, so the teacher, and she was imprisoned for some sexual relationship with children.
Yes.
I got to know about it from sites, and I don't know the winning of the prize of the best teacher in the world and her photo, and then it was interesting for me, and I decided to use Google in order to know who is this girl, and then I realized that she was imprisoned and all this story, but everything started from this site and the joke about the best teacher in the world. So.
Okay, I understand very much. Alexander, where do you get your information from? Do you go to the internet and get information from the internet?
I use information in Yandex News, but it's just a hub which collect news from different sites.
Okay, so Yandex News. What's the most interesting kind of news for you?
kind of news?
What kind of news is most interesting for you?
Mm, new technologies, right? Or maybe
Technology?
yeah, maybe science and sport.
Have you read anything recently that's been interesting to you in that field?
No, I don't remember now.
Have you read anything?
I just heard about American maybe Sputnik. I don't know, Sputnik or other device which go to the Pluton and took pictures.
Yeah, that would be a satellite, I believe. And I went to Pluto and took pictures. Have you seen anything about the driverless car? The car with no driver? They're working on.
Yes, I read sometimes about cars.
Cars without drivers. No people in the car.
Without drivers. Yes, I often hear about that.
Heard about that, right?
Heard about that, yes. And I know that Toyota, I think, is going to promote their car in near future, in our life. How to say?
Yes, I think soon. But many different car manufacturers are working on that. Mary, have you heard about this driverless car?
Yes, I heard, and I even heard about Russian robot, new Russian robot. Really funny, because it's was really big budget for this innovation, but it's not really innovation. And compare, but it was Ukrainian news, and they compare this robot, it's a really stupid robot, with Ukrainian robot which was created in university by student, and Ukrainian robot by was this Ukrainian robot was more better than very good Russian robot with I don't know.
Okay, little English lesson. Little English here. If you can say better, you can't say. You don't need to say more better. You can't say more.
Yeah.
More. If you can say you don't say Better. Okay. So, anyways, about this robot. Where did you hear about this? Where did you find out about this?
But you know that KAMAZ, it's like track huge cars. Yeah, have also. Like a pilot project with using like automatic cars without drivers.
Yes.
In Russia. Yeah.
In Russia?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're all kind of doing it because it's all the same technology and it gets around, you know. Ludmila, have you heard about this driverless car?
No, I haven't heard, and I hope someone will explain me who is the driver in the car without driver.
Okay, it's got like sensors on it. It shoots out, like it can tell if the car is slowing down in front of them, so it slows down as the car slows down in front of you. You understand?
It's difficult for me to imagine this thing, and one more, it's difficult for me to imagine why should I get my driving license now, because I wanted to get it, but now really I have no reason to get it if there is cars without drivers. So.
Well, I think you should go ahead and pursue the driver's license because it's kind of future technology, and probably you can still need you to drive and help your life around with your driver's license.
But maybe I will be too adult when everyone will be able to have such cars. So.
Well, it's only like, I think, just a partial thing. Once you get up to on a freeway, when you go fast, they don't work as good because they can't react so quickly. But I've not read all about it, but I've just heard about this. So what do you think is important out there, Ludmila? What do you think is important that people should know? Ludmila.
Well, I didn't understand the question. So about
okay.
what?
What do you think is important that people should know?
Oh, it's one more question, or it's the connection of the previous question?
No, it's not
Yes.
connected. This is just it's an open question to you.
One
What do
more
you think?
question. Yeah.
What do you think people should know? What is important to you that people should know?
Oh, it seems to me that I have already mentioned about it, that it's important to know the truth about everything, I guess.
But you also
No,
said it
not
was
maybe about everything, but even some kind of a little bit of truth, which clever people can use in order to, I don't know, to realize the whole truth, because we don't have even hints for this truth. But actually, I'd like to know something about our economy, what is going on at this system, because everything is too dark at this system of our country, and everything connected with money, which are in our country, where they we have some strange situation. I think that some kind of magicians, work at our government, because there are money, and then money disappeared, and no one knows where they disappeared. So I think it's nice to know where.
okay. Alexander, what do you think about that? Do you think that is that me? Do you hear me myself? Alexander,
Yeah.
what do you think is important for people to know?
What is important? At first, truth, as Ludmila said.
Yeah.
What is important? I don't know. Everything what happens in government, maybe in politics. It depends on what people want to know.
Yes. What you're interested in. Mary, what do you think? What do you think is important that people know?
I think it depends on preference because my grandma only want about weather and it's enough for her. But for some people it's political situation, for some people it's economic situation. So different people, different view.
Okay. Let's see here.
Michael,
What?
maybe Michael wants to know something.
Yeah, as for me, it's interesting to know about something new in business. It's interesting to see what new proposed companies or new products which they start to. And not so interesting. It's a politician. Stories because it's like a temporary all time change it and it's I'm not focused on it, yeah. So and of course for me every news are connected with which are interesting for me, connected with maybe work, yeah, and I want to know what's happened in this field, like internet or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ludmila. Do you watch or get any listen to any news in any language besides your native language? Do you listen to any other language or read in another language besides your native
Oh,
language?
news, you mean? I don't watch news.
Anything,
Oh,
anything. I mean, any information. You get it only in
some
only in your native language or any a different language.
No, I prefer. You know that I'm a big fan of one Saturday night club. As far as I remember, when some people make some strange sketches for something. I don't know, for some great periods in history of some great artists. Great. I don't know. It's very funny for me, and unfortunately, they are without translation, and when even if they are with translation, there is no, I don't know, no such humor, and it's difficult to explain, but in English sketches there is some atmosphere of fun, of their fun, but in translation it's lost, and that's why I watch this movie only in English, and the same about some parody. You know, my favorite parodies for Sherlock. You know, the last from BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch, and there are a lot of parodies and a lot of sketches about the relationship with Watson, and that's why I really appreciate watching it, and it's very funny.
Yes, it is.
So,
That's an old show, and it's been going for a long time. It's called Saturday Night Live.
yes, Saturday Night Live. Yes, I
Saturday Night
remember.
Live. Yes, this is a very good show. It's been going for a long time. So, Alexander, what do you think is going to be the future of news? Do you have any idea what the future is going to hold for news? Think it's going to change again, or think it's going to get worse or better, or what?
What is what will be in future?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe weather will change.
Weather.
Yeah.
Okay, of course the weather changes every year. It gets hot, gets cold, gets hot, gets cold. But what about the way they produce, the way they deliver the news to you, the way you get the news? Like we went from newspapers to internet. Do you think there's going to be a different way, a different medium to get the news in the future?
Is internet?
But do you think that's going to change into something else?
No, I don't know.
No, you don't know. Okay, Mary, what do you think? Mary, what do you think about that? Do you think the future is going to be different?
Really, I don't know. Maybe, you know, like in science fiction movie, when hologram on the city and they say something. But really, I don't know. If our mass media sources changes, of course, news also changes.
Okay, Ludmila, what do you think about the future of news? You think they can be able to deliver this in a different way in the future, or what?
If you ask optimistic Ludmila, she tells that she thinks that news will tell us the truth. If you ask pessimistic Ludmila, I hope that news will be disappeared from our TVs, radios, and everything else because I see no sense in it. So I agree. Let's leave weather forecast, and it's all.
Okay.
And news.
That's an interesting opinion. Mikhail, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a different medium in the future? You're a high-tech guy. Is it 20, 30 years from now, it's going to be something different than the internet? It's going to be changed and it's going to be different?
It's now it's already changed. It's like, you know, the new products, it's like make the news shorter. You can read it news like in Twitter, yeah, very short and just what's happened here. And another way of another arrow, it's like news on demand. You can type what are interested for you, which fields, yeah, and this news will be aggregated from the different stores. So now it's work. So I think maybe it's will be. Better in the future. I mean, any algorithms which are used in this program, but in general, it's like two how to say, two main ideas in use. Yeah, so aggregate from different sources, make it shorter and on demand. Yeah, so
Okay.
only interesting for you.
Okay, Mary, did you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you think that this will replace like television news? They won't even do the television news anymore because people won't watch it. Like newspapers are going away. Do you think television news is going to go away?
I think yes. Television go away.
Do you know when this might happen?
No, of course. to my way of thinking, it's now go away.
It's going away?
Yes, because a lot of people don't watch TV now.
Okay, so Ludmilla, when do you think this is going to happen? What do you think? Like, I don't know how it is in your country, but I know, like in America, newspapers are going out of business left and right. I mean, they're just closing down because the internet's replacing, or they put the internet on news. I mean, news on the internet, they don't print newspapers anymore. So when do you think that they'll stop doing the evening news?
I think that news in newspapers will live only in Britain because it's really great, and I think deep tradition for them to read the newspapers at trains and some ways of moving from one side to other. But I think I don't know, maybe some people really watch news and something else, but for me it's difficult to judge really because I'm not a great fan of it as far as you could understand really.
Well,
So
it's a topic to talk about and just practice your English. It's not really about what's necessarily going to happen. We don't really going to make any bets based on your opinion. We just want to give you an opportunity to talk in English and about certain topics every week.
So I hope that news will be disappeared and something more interesting will be found at our TVs and something else.
Okay, Alexander, what do you think? Do you think that in the near future the television news is going to disappear?
I don't know. Maybe it will change. It will be not TV. It will be digital TV and connected to internet. I think so.
I agree. Mary, do you think that with the many, like Mikhail was saying about the many different sources that you get the news from by doing these internet searches and whatnot, do you think you can get more of the truthful opinion by getting many different people's opinion?
They will more truth.
Well, if you get and so just listen to one person talk. If you get like 30 or 40 or 50 different opinions, you think you get a more honest opinion after reading all of those?
Yes,
what really happened?
Yes, if if we get something middle, we can get some truth for this opinion.
Ludmilla, did you understand that question? Ludmilla.
Yes, I'm here, but
I know what you think, but I'm just saying if you could get a like 50 or 60 different from all around the world about some subject matter, that you would have a better understanding of what really happened if you got a lot of different opinions. Does that make sense to you?
So maybe I think that if we have 50 different opinions and the same facts, it will be easier. No, really, I'm sure that it would be easier to find the truth because when you have only two opinions, you know that only black and white, and it's difficult to find the right position. But if I think that through this 50th position, it will be something in common, and maybe according to some little mathematics, it will be difficult to count. I don't know. It's difficult really to explain, but I think that it's possible to find the truth in 50s views.
Alexander, what do you think about that? Do you think that if you get many different sources of opinions, that then maybe the truth would come out and you'd be able to see what really happened as opposed to just one or two people telling you the story?
I understood nothing. Could you repeat?
Yes. Do you think that if you had many different opinions about a particular story, that you would actually get more of a truthful understanding of the story if you had many opinions other than just one or two?
Sorry, no, it's a question not from me.
Not from you?
Get many newspaper.
What? Mikhail, what?
For me, it's clear. So many variants, different variants, because maybe when you start to research something, of course you need to read a lot of reference, but maybe by the time you can find the really in the source of this thing. Alexander, you are breathing.
Stop breathing, please, Alexander.
Yeah. So and you need to find this real source of information when they start, yeah, and focus on this maybe magazines or newspapers, yeah, just not spend time for reading all the 15 variants. Focus on the, I don't know, 2 or 3, but that's on which you choose, and on your opinion, it's like full of information. Yeah.
Okay. Mary, do you read magazines?
No.
Huh?
No, I don't.
Do
Sometimes only internet.
like what? Internet? Magazines?
Like
What kind of subject matters?
about fashion.
About fashion?
Yeah.
Uh,
But I prefer fashion weeks watch.
like on television?
Not television, it like show, like some performance for one designer, and I watch it. You know, different fashion week in Milan, Paris, and when it's this time, I watch it usually.
Okay. Ludmila, do you have any magazines?
I think I have the same situation as Mary. No, I don't like to watch it fashion weeks, but I had to read a lot of magazines connected with fashion because my occupation, you know, I had to write the diploma, and the theme of my diploma was connected with fashion and language resources in, in glossary magazines, you know, and
Yeah.
that's why I had to learn a lot of magazines about fashion in order to write my diploma. So, but I managed to do it, and it wasn't for my pleasure, but it was kind of necessary to do it.
Do you have any other interests that you'd like to read about besides fashion for your job or whatever for your diploma? Do you have any other interest like magazine interests or other websites that you go to?
I'm a big fan of space and everything connected with space, stars, and everything else. And every time I visit, planetarium in Kiev, all the time I buy some magazines about space. And unfortunately, they are very horrible written, and it's impossible to read it for a person who isn't specialized in this science, but I always buy them, and they lay at my bookshelf, and I hope that one time I will be able to read these magazines. But now, unfortunately, I can't. I just kind of saving, not energy as Alexander, but saving magazines.
And it's interesting to know what exactly interesting for you in space.
Was it a question?
Yes. What is your interest in space? Why are you interested in space?
Oh, really, it's something magic for me in space, and every time I visit planetarium, there is some strange feeling that I don't want to leave this place, and it makes me feel that I live in some perfect place, in some magic place, in some mystery, and really after visiting such places, I feel that I can do everything. So maybe a kind of Nietzsche's ideas about superhuman. So I feel that I'm superhuman.
But for me, it's not connected with the space. I don't know why.
It depends on feelings, really. When you sit at this chair and you feel great space around you, and on the one side you you feel that you are a little piece of this space, but on the other hand, you feel that you can do everything in this magic. So you're also kind of magician. So you can do whatever you want. You can do what people even can't imagine to do. And really, this feeling comes to me when I sit at the planetarium. Maybe I don't know if you do. Have you ever visited the planetarium?
Yeah, it's a question for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I visited. So
So, and did you have any feelings? I don't know.
it's just interesting to see. So, but nothing special. So
Oh, it's very sad, Michael, because really, it's the
I
one place.
need to think. Maybe I remember something.
Maybe you should visit it one more time because really, in Kiev there is the best planetarium I have ever visited, and really, it's impossible to leave it. And I just wanted to stay to hide myself somewhere under the chair, in order to people who work at this planetarium don't pay attention on me, and I will live in this planetarium. But
Okay.
it's my opinion. I don't know.
Okay, Mary, have you been to the planetarium in Kiev?
Yeah, so not in Kiev, but because I spice engineer, so I know
Oh, Mary, it's nice.
about spice, and
Oh,
I think we really can have a lot information, a lot news about spice technology, about material for rocket technology, and about maybe some satellite. It's really interesting. And a few days ago was open new part Festitsa. How to say? Somebody
What?
can? Like quark,
Mm.
graviton, and few days ago was opening new part like photon,
Photon?
you mean
like
chemical?
photon.
I don't know, chemical.
It's not quant part.
Boson.
Alexander, you know what she's talking about?
Something like boson. More easy explain. And few days ago was opened a new part. It's really interesting news about science and about spice. But I think I see news about spice on little bit another way.
Mary,
Like
that's a pronounced space, not spice.
Space, yes.
It's called.
Spice, as far as I know, it's a kind of drugs.
Yes.
Well, spice is stuff you put on food, right? Salt, pepper, stuff like that.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
spices.
I know, I understand.
Okay, I'm just pronunciation sometimes is just a little bit different. Okay. Alexander, have you ever been to a planetarium?
No, I
What do you
have
guys
never
do?
been to planetarium.
You have?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Do you want to go?
Yes, I won't. Yes, I do.
Well, you should make a trip. Apparently, that it can be a really moving experience, according to Ludmilla. She was really moved by this experience of going to the
Maybe
planetarium.
I work at planetarium and I am paid for finding people to go to
Maybe so.
planetarium, and
Maybe
that's why I'm.
a page trail for the planetarium. But I've been to planetariums. They're very interesting places. You find a lot of interesting facts and news. They do a really good display of that.
Thomas, do you visit it? Thomas,
Yes.
do you visit planetarium in Ukraine?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't
In
visit-
Ukraine, no?
I don't think so. No. I would have been in America.
But in
Are they different?
I only want. Yeah, I only want no different. Okay.
Oh, the difference between the two? I would imagine they're the same, very similar, because
Yeah.
it's all the same facts, right? Pretty much. And hopefully they're telling the truth.
I only have one problem when I visited planetarium. It's I don't know about everybody else, but I have pain in my neck.
Pain in my neck. Yeah, you have to lean
Yeah.
your head back. It's true. At the end
Yes.
of the show, your neck hurts. This is true. They should make it different somehow to where you don't have to look up or change the seats so you lay down in the seats, right? They should make it so you lay down in the seats.
You should
Yes.
use chair of dentist.
Yes, exactly,
But
exactly.
it's a little bit same.
Oh, that's true. Okay, guys, thanks for the session we had tonight. We're back next week. Talk about the future. So come back next week, 9 o'clock on Monday. Have a good week. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.